Hi, I'm Susan, and I'm new to this, making videos and going on YouTube, and so I'm pretty kind of nervous. So trying thingy. Um, I'll tell you. It's not really a story, but I'll tell you a story about how I became blind, because this is basically what the video is kind of more or less about how I became blind. Uh, I'm originally from Ireland, and I was born in a place called Mullingar. It's about an hour outside Dublin. Sorry if this keeps shaking, I can't see what I'm doing here, but I'm trying my best. It's about an hour outside Dublin. I grew up there all my life, and then I came to Scotland about 14 years ago, and that's where I've been living ever since, because my husband is Scottish and my youngest son. And my oldest son, he was born in Ireland. Came over here when he was 6 months pregnant, and when he was 6 months old, and I was pregnant with my youngest. I've been here 14 years now. I'm not really going to go into detail about my family and where I came. Well, obviously you know where I came from. I'm a bit stuttery because I'm nervous, so sorry. I'll just jump straight into the story about how I became blind. I was actually born blind in the left eye. I was 3 months premature. I almost died, and the only way that they could save me was to increase the UV light in the incubator. And the doctor said, either I die or this UV light gets turned up and destroys my eyesight. And of course my mother went ahead with it and says, would rather have her not seeing a little or something to not having her at all. I was born blind in the left eye, but I kind of used my right eye for everything, and I just basically got on with it. I didn't make any difference because I was wearing glasses anyway, and I felt like, I was just using my right eye for absolutely everything. It was like I just had one eye and that was it. I wore glasses from the age of 2 up until a couple of months ago, because I am literally blind now, and it didn't make a difference whether I wore my glasses or I didn't. I was still seeing the same. So, and they were giving me a lot of headaches, so I decided not to wear the glasses anymore because it didn't make a difference. When I was a child, I was in and out of hospital getting my eyes checked, and that up in a hospital up in Dublin. I started going there from the age of 2, right up until about maybe 17, maybe 18. I'm not really quite sure, can't remember. And then just going to my ordinary opticians, if that hadn't happened, or regular checkups and that. So I went home last year to my hometown, and I was watching telly, and I noticed I wasn't seeing the telly the way I should be seeing it. And my husband kept saying, you should go and get your eyes checked, and I'm like, I'll be fine, I'll be alright, it's just one of these things. And of course, I agreed to disagree, and we went to the opticians, and I was referred to the ophthalmologist within a week, and I thought, something must be happening. And I had my appointment, and I went to see my ophthalmologist, and it was a man at the time when I seen him, and he did the normal reading out the chart and doing the eye test and the whole lot, and I was like, there's nothing wrong, I'm fine. And I was thinking this in my head, I didn't actually say it. And then he decided to do a test, and they said, I'm going to do a test to see if you're partially sighted. And I'm thinking in my head, yeah, whatever. So I did the test, thinking I'm going to be waiting weeks and weeks for these results and that, but I got them back straight away. And I had it in my head that he was going to come back and say, no, your eyes are just the way they are, they're stable, and your eyes are just going to be the way they're always going to be. No, came back and he said, yeah, you're partially sighted. And I'm like, okay. And at that point, I think, well, I felt like, I kind of felt like my whole world had dropped then, because I was noticing that my eyes were deteriorating, but I was kind of in denial with it as well, and I was kind of thinking, no, I'll be fine, it's just, I've always been like this and all that. And I went, after my appointment with the ophthalmologist, things started rolling. I was getting the benefits that I was entitled to, and I was having a social worker and what do you call them? An occupational therapist was coming along, and I was given the cane, and I didn't use that for 3 months because I was in total denial. I was like, I don't need this cane at all. But I did. I absolutely needed it, but I refused to use it until about October. That was in August last year. And about October, I noticed I was going really, really downhill pretty fast. And I says, I think I better start using this cane. So I went back to my opticians, and she referred me back to the ophthalmologist again, and they kept saying, there's nothing we can do for you, and you know, there's no operation's going to cure this, there's no laser treatment, there's nothing. It's the conditions, I say conditions, I've got quite a few. They're uncurable, there's nothing they can do. I was diagnosed with cataracts in both my eyes, but I was told at the time, I was told that they were quite mild, and that operation wouldn't do anything for because they're quite mild. Yeah, I was, as I said, I was diagnosed with retinopathy of prematurity, which basically means because I was so premature that the blood vessels in the back of my eyes hadn't developed properly. And a couple of months ago, I went to get my eyes tested with some special test or something. I was in there for 3 hours getting these tests done, and I'm not going to go into all the rigmarole, what the tests were, and blah 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 blah. But the test results would come back, and she said that the cells in the back of my eyes were completely dead, and the blood vessels, everything dead, nothing worked. And I was shocked, and I wasn't shocked because my eyes had already deteriorated anyway at this point. They were pretty bad. So yeah, the last time I seen my ophthalmologist was in May, and I have to see her actually next week. And I've got quite a lot to tell her because a lot has happened since the last time I seen her. At Christmas, I wouldn't say diagnosed is the right word, but I've been told that I have Charlotte-Bonnet syndrome, which means I see things. If only. I see things. I see spiders crawl up my arm. And it's not just the one, it's quite a few. I've been told, since Christmas I've been experiencing a lot of flashes, going on in my eyes and that. It's like fireworks just flickering day and night in my eyes. At the beginning in December, I was experiencing red and green. Not at the one time, but just different episodes. I was experiencing red and green lights flashing in my eyes. And then it progressed on to blue lights. And I was told that is a sign of early glaucoma. Sorry, I'm all over the place. I am so nervous. Don't know why I'm actually doing this, but I want to get my story across about how I became blind and how I'm living with it. I'll get to that story in a minute. Yeah, I was the blue lights were flashing on and off day and night, but all these lights flashing got worse at night. You're trying to sleep. I haven't slept since Christmas. So now I've been experiencing other lights as well. I've been experiencing purple and pink. I don't know what they might, represent, the purple and the pink lights. I don't know. I won't know till I go to my appointment next week and I tell her. But if anybody experiences the same colours, can you comment down below or something? Let me know what you might be going through or experiencing. Because I'd like to help other people, because living with blindness is total. It destroyed me at the beginning, so it did. I wouldn't say I'm okay now. I've learned how to accept, I suppose. There's nothing else I can do. Like, I can't turn back and wish I could see again, because I can't, because there's nothing they can do. And I'd like to help other people, in the same situation as myself probably, or just anybody that has a visual impairment or blind. Because I know it's very, very, very difficult to come to terms with it and to cope with it and to live with it. I've had pretty bad days. I've had pretty good days. Swings and roundabouts, ups and downs. So I'm hoping with me talking to you about this might help in some way. I don't know. It might even help me just by talking. So, yeah, I've got quite a lot of conditions with my eyes. I only have light and shadow perception. I used to see faces. Obviously, I was sighted before, and then last year when I was diagnosed partial sighted, as I told you, I could kind of see, but now I can't see a thing. Can't see absolutely nothing. I can't see my kid's face anymore. Can't see my husband's face anymore. I can't see anybody's face. My family back home, my close friends, anybody, nothing. I can't see the telly, can't see the time on the wall, can't see nothing. Just, see, a lot of people think that when a blind person is blind, that they see black. They see just black. That's not true. I think that is just a myth. People do have a small amount of vision left. You just don't see absolutely nothing, like a black wall or something. My vision is very, 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 very limited. Just shadows and light. That's all I see, which is not good. But you know, I just have to learn to adjust how I'm doing and just move on and cope with it and do the best I can, because I've got 2 children who need me and I've got a husband who needs me. You know, a couple of months ago I was suicidal, and I felt, because I can't see it, and what was the point? What's the point in doing that? And because, well, if I can't see it, and what's the point? And then, it was being selfish, because my kids need me, and my husband needs me, and my family need me, and my close friends need me. And, I just had to sit down and think about my future and think about what will happen. And, just because I can't see it, that doesn't mean, this is me saying it now, but just because you're blind or you can't see it, that doesn't mean you can't do anything, or that you just give up. Because every day is a memory for me. Every day is different, and that's how it's a memory, because I take a lot of pictures when I'm out. I don't know why, but I just take a lot of pictures, and I think a lot of that is like a memory for me, because I don't see what I'm taking. I just hold the camera up, and if I'm taking a photo at a lake or a river or something, and the sun is shining, I can see the sun glittering on the water, and it catches my eye. I see a lot of like sequins and glittery things. I'm sorry if I'm blabbering on and talking. It's just, I don't know, it's just, I'm nervous. And I get stuttery when I'm nervous, so I'm sorry. Yeah, with this appointment next week, kind of sounds silly, but I'm actually quite looking forward to going to this, because I've waited 6 months for my last appointment, and a lot has changed since then. I've got a lot of questions and answers that need to be told and said, and I've been experiencing a lot of new things with my eyes. Day and night, I see like black lines going across my eyes. I don't know what that is, what it means. I don't know, is it to do with the Charlie Bonnet syndrome, or is the retina detaching or something? I don't know. And these flashes in my eyes are getting worse. Like I said, I haven't slept since Christmas. It's just every time I close my eyes, it's like the whole room just lights up. And every time I close my eyes, it's like the eyelids here are just so bright. And just as soon as I close my eyes to go to bed, it's like I'm having a little disco in my head. It's just all these little lights are flashing on and off. It's crazy, but yeah. My eyes shake a lot as well when I'm really tired and stressed, and just, I don't know, makes me kind of sick as well. I don't know what that is either. I'm going to have to say that to my ophthalmologist when I see her next week. Yeah, I don't really know what more else to say about my blindness. Just anybody that's struggling, just try and talk to someone. If it's not a close family member, talk to a close friend or something. Anybody, because you need to talk about these things. Because I bottled them up for weeks and months, and it just ate me inside. And I became really, really depressed. And I thought, well, if I can't see, there's no future for me. but there's always a future. And like I said, just because you can't see it, that doesn't mean you just have to literally give up, because there is things out there that you can do. You just have to force yourself and just get out and do it. Sorry if I blabbered on and not made sense about it. I hope this video has helped somebody in some way. I'll try and put up as much videos as I can about my eye conditions and where they're going, and maybe I'll try and pop a video next week after my appointment, and maybe tell you what's been said, or if that has changed. Well, obviously things have changed with my eyes, but yeah, I'll try and do as much videos as I can, but we'll see how it goes. Just thanks for listening and thanks for watching, and if you want to comment down below about if anybody experiencing the same as me, or maybe I know there's all different kind of blindnesses. If you want to comment about what you're going through, I'd like a bit of feedback if that's okay. Thank you very much for watching and listening, and I'll be in touch soon. Bye.